class. Today, in today's video, we will discuss the preparation of haloalkane from alkene. Okay, just start the reaction. First, I will tell the reaction, and further, I will discuss one by one in detail. First, if we take this alkene and react with this alkene react with HBr. Here no peroxide, only the reagent is substrate is alkene and the reagent is HBr, and here peroxide, that is presence of peroxide. If there is no peroxide, then the product is formed this 2-bromopropane. 2-bromopropane. In the presence of peroxide, that is hydrogen peroxide, either we take hydrogen peroxide or benzoyl peroxide, then the product is this 1-bromopropane. Now, this is the reaction of Markovnikov reaction. Markovnikov. This is came under Markovnikov, and this is anti-Markovnikov. This is the main difference between Markovnikov and anti-Markovnikov is in Markovnikov addition reaction there is no peroxide, but if there is a peroxide present, then it is anti-Markovnikov addition. Means without peroxide no anti-Markovnikov addition takes place. Now I will discuss Markovnikov addition and anti-Markovnikov addition in details one by one. One more thing, here we will get secondary, this is the secondary bromine, and here we will get primary. Now discuss the Markovnikov addition. First is Markovnikov addition. Markovnikov addition. There are few points regarding Markovnikov addition, that is important point. First point is Markovnikov additions always takes place on unsymmetrical hydrocarbons, that is unsaturated hydrocarbons. So first is take place on unsymmetrical unsaturated hydrocarbon. Takes place on unsymmetrical unsaturated hydrocarbon. Just take the example. Okay. This is unsaturated hydrocarbons and it is also unsymmetrical because the other half of this is not equivalent to another half. Now second, addition of hydrogen halide takes place. Addition of hydrogen halide takes place. Okay, which hydrogen halide? HCl, HBr, HI, not HF. Addition of HF is not possible because bond dissociation energy of HF is very high If bond dissociation energy of HF is high, then it is very difficult to split HF in the form of H plus and F minus. That's why the addition of HF is not taking place. Now, the third point. This is the example of, this reaction came under the category of electrophilic addition reaction. Electrophilic addition reaction. Now, one thing came in our mind, from where we will get this electrophile. So, for the formation of electrophile, if we take HCl, so this HCl will split into H plus and Cl minus due to electronegativity difference. So, this is the electrophile. Now, addition of electrophilic addition reaction. These four are the important point of Marconic of addition. The first point is it takes place on the unsymmetrical unsaturated hydrocarbon. Second, in this reaction addition of hydrogen halide takes place, and the third is this came under the category of electrophilic addition reaction, and we will get electrophile from hydrogen halide. Now come to the mechanism of Marconic reaction. If we take this alkene and when this alkene will react with HCl, then there are two possibilities. First is it will split into H plus and Cl minus. Now, this is electrophile, so it has tendency to accept electron or attack on the electron rich center. So, if we see the structure of this alkene, here this is the electron rich center. So there are two possibilities. Either this hydrogen attack on this carbon or this carbon. If we will discuss both the possibility. If this hydrogen will attack on this carbon, then we will get structure CH3, CH. Now if this hydrogen attack on this, then it will bind with this carbon, then H, CH2. So there is a loss of this carbon because this loosely pi bond completely shifted between the carbon and hydrogen. So there is a loss of this carbon. That's why there is a charge formation. Again, if this hydrogen electrophile attack on this carbon, then the bond between the carbon-carbon shifted here and the loss of this carbon takes place and the structure will form this. Now, see, this is primary carbocation. This is primary carbocation because the carbon attached to this is primary carbocation and now this is secondary carbocation. This is primary carbocation because the carbon attached to the carbon which is added to single carbon. This carbon attached to a single carbon, and now here this carbocation's positive charge containing carbon directly attached to 2-methyl group. So this is secondary carbocation. Now, due to inductive effect, this methyl group donate its electron toward this positive charge containing carbon and stabilize the deficiency of this carbon. So, and in the case of here primary carbocation, this group will give. Again here there are 2-methyl group, but due to the we know that inductive effect decreasing as the distance increase. So here the distance increases, but here in the case of secondary carbocation, both the methyl group are at the same distance. That's why secondary carbocation is more stable than primary carbocation. So again we have Cl minus, so this Cl minus bind with positive charge and we will get this. Here again Cl minus and we will get this. So the carbocation of this product is more stable than this. That's why this is major product and this is minor product, and always we are considering major product. I hope the Markovnikov addition reaction is very much clear to you guys. Again I'll explain. Here heterolytic cleavage H plus and Cl minus. Now H plus either bind with this carbon or this carbon. If it will bind with this carbon, then we will get primary carbocation, and if this will bind with this, then we will get secondary carbocation. Secondary carbocation is more stable due to inductive effect. Due to inductive effect, this methyl group donate its electron to the positive charge and suppress its deficiency. Here also this methyl groups donate its electron to this positive charge, but as we know, due to the inductive effect decreases as the distance increases. That's why the secondary carbocation is more stable than primary. So this is the major product. Now come to anti-Markovnikov. Anti-Markovnikov. Anti-Markovnikov addition. So there are some important points for this anti-Markovnikov addition. So the first point is it also takes place on unsymmetrical unsaturated hydrocarbon, that is alkene or alkyne. Here only the addition of HBr takes place. First unsaturated unsymmetrical unsaturated hydrocarbon. Second, only the addition of HBr takes place. In the case of Markovnikov addition, addition of HCl, HBr and HI takes place, but in the case of anti-Markovnikov, only the addition of HBr takes place. Third, this reaction takes place in the presence of peroxide. Only takes place in the presence of peroxide. Example of peroxide, either we take H2O2, hydrogen peroxide, or benzoyl peroxide. And the fourth point is, it is also called Kharash rule. Because Kharash is the person who has done this reaction. Now, fifth most important point is it is the example of free radical addition reaction. if we are discussing the mechanism, then we will see how, this is came into the category of free radical addition reaction. Now come to the main reaction, and then later we will discuss mechanism. Let's start the mechanism of anti-Markovnikov addition. If we take any alkene in the presence of hydrogen peroxide, when this alkene react with HBr in the presence of hydrogen peroxide, then we will get one bromopropane. This is the major product of anti-Markovnikov addition. The important point of anti-Markovnikov addition is it proceed in the presence of peroxide. Either we take hydrogen peroxide or we take benzoyl peroxide. Okay, now start the mechanism. Can I rub it, because mechanism is little bit long. So if we take benzoyl peroxide, we also take hydrogen peroxide, but here I will explain with the benzoyl peroxide. Now this is the structure of benzoyl peroxide. This is benzoyl peroxide. The bond of benzoyl peroxide, the bond between these two oxygen in the benzoyl peroxide is very weak. That's why here the cleavage takes place, that is homolytic cleavage. That's why both the oxygen take 1 electrons and leads to form free radical. Here we will get two molecule of this free radical, C6H5COO. Now here double bond, so C double bond O. Now this is the free radical. Here you can write free radical. Either you can write like this or you can write like this. This. Both are same. Now here also cleavage takes place. This bond also break, and this compound will take 1 odd electron, and this free radical, here also the formation of free radical, and we will get two molecule of C6H5 free radical plus. Now here 1 odd electron and 1 odd electron, so both the odd electron combine and form bond, so this is CO2. Here also we will get two molecule of CO2, so we will get two molecule of CO2. Now this will remain in radical form. So only the use of this free radical is to split the HBr. Now I'll rub it and we will continue with the mechanism. In the presence of this free radical, HBr split. That means also homolytic cleavage of HBr takes place, and this HBr will break into H free radical and Br free radical. Now this H free radical is highly unstable, that's why it will bind with this and form C6H6 benzene, and this bromine free radical is free. So here we will get bromine free radical and C6H6. Now, if we take alkene as a starting material, when this bromine free radical react with alkene, there are two possibilities. Bromine is electron deficient molecule, so it has tendency to attack on the spot which are electron rich in center. So in the case of alkene, this is the electron rich center. So either bromine attack on this carbon or this carbon. So here we will discuss both the possibility. If bromine attack on this carbon, then the bond between these two carbons will shift it between carbon and bromine. So here bromine will bind, and here the creation of free radical. Again, when this bromine will bind with this carbon, then we will get this free radical. This is primary free radical and this is secondary free radical. This is primary because this carbon is attached to a single carbon. This is secondary free radical because the free radical containing carbon attached to two carbon. That's why it is secondary free radical. As we know, secondary free radical is highly stable, more stable than primary free radical. So this free radical is more stable. Then again we have HBr in the medium. Again there is a homolytic cleavage. We will get H free radical, bromine free radical, H free radical, bromine free radical. Now here H free radical bind with this free radical and form this molecule, that is 2-bromo-propane, and here this is free radical, so hydrogen will bind with secondary carbon. So the product is 1-bromo-propane. Again, majority of the product will depend upon the stability of intermediate. So in this case, intermediate is free radical and the secondary free radical is more stable than primary free radical. That means in the case of anti-Markovnikov addition, this is the major product. Now this is the mechanism of anti-Markovnikov addition. Now we will discuss another method of preparation of haloalkanes. Now I will rub it. Next, when alkene react with bromine in the presence of solvent carbon tetrachloride CCl4, then we will get vicinal dibromoethane. Vicinal dibromoethane. This is vicinal because both the bromines are attached to the adjacent carbon. When both the bromines are attached to same carbon, then it is geminal. Here on adjacent carbon or never carbon, that's why it is vicinal. Now come to mechanism. There is no polarity difference between both the bromines because both the atoms are same, so electronegativity of both the atoms are same. But due to the presence of this electron cloud, there is a creation of polarity. So here partial positive and partial negative. So due to the presence of this electron cloud, creation of polarity is called induced dipole. Induced dipole. So if there is a creation of partial positive and partial negative charge, that means this bromine is electron deficient in nature. So the bond between carbon and carbon will migrate between these carbon and bromine, and this bromine is high in electronegative, so it leave the group in the form of Br minus, and we will get this is the carbocation. The bromine has 3 lone pair. Now this stable is highly unstable. Highly unstable because the octet of this carbon is not complete. So this bromine will donate its electron pair to this carbon and create a bond between carbon and bromine. So we will get another structure. This is also intermediate, but the stability of the second intermediate is more than first one. This is the first and this is the second. Stability of second intermediate is more than first, and the name of this intermediate is cyclic halonium ion. Cyclic halonium ion. Here bromine is present, so it is called cyclic bromonium ion. Cyclic bromonium ion. Now we have Br minus in the medium. So this bromine will attack on this compound. Either this bromine attack by this side or this side. But attack from this side is not possible because here bromine present and this is also a bromine. Both the bromines are having lone pair. So due to the presence of lone pair, there is a repulsion. To avoid the repulsion, these bromine attack on the upper side, and the bond between carbon and bromine will break and form. Now, this is the main product, this vicinal dibromoethane, and the IUPAC name of this compound is 1,2-dibromoethane. 1,2-dibromoethane. Now, this is the example of anti-addition. Anti-addition because one bromine attack on lower side and another will attack on upper side. That's why it is an example of anti-addition. Now this is the mechanism of formation of haloalkane from alkene on the reaction with bromine in the presence of solvent, that is carbon tetrachloride. In this case CCl4 acts as a solvent. Now this is the complete mechanism. This is the very important intermediate, that is cyclic halonium ion. Now come to another method. From allylic compound, formation of haloalkanes from allylic compound. When this will react with NBS, N-bromosuccinamide. The full form of the NBS is N-bromosuccinamide. N-bromosuccinamide. That means NBS is bromine containing compound. Then we will get this compound. Here the allylic hydrogen is acidic in nature. That's why it will remove by the bromine. Now let's see the structure of NBS and N-bromosuccinamide. This is N-bromosuccinamide. When N-bromosuccinamide will react with this alkene, then the product is here bromine was replaced by the acidic hydrogen of allylic compound. Here this hydrogen will attach. Now this is the reaction of formation of haloalkane from allylic compound. Only the use of NBS in this reaction is to provide halogen, provide bromine to this compound. Now this is the mechanism of allylic formation of haloalkane from allylic compound. Now we will discuss the halogen exchange method. Now I will rub it. Halogen exchange method. First method is Finkelstein. Finkelstein method. In Finkelstein method, we take alkyl halide. When alkyl halide react with sodium iodide in the presence of acetone and heat, then this halogen will exchange with the sodium and this halogen will exchange. Both the halogens get exchanged and we will get this. X is either bromine or chlorine. NaX is formed in the PPT. So in Finkelstein method is specially used for the formation of alkyl iodide or methyl iodide. Methyl iodide. This is a special method for the formation of alkyl iodide. Now there is another method, Schwarz reaction. Schwarz reaction. Here the starting material is again CS3X. X is either bromine or chlorine. When this methyl halide react with AgF, then we will get alkyl fluoride and silver halide. So Schwarz reaction, in the case of Schwarz reaction, again both the halogens get exchanged, and this is also a special method for the formation of methyl fluoride or alkyl fluoride. And by this method, Finkelstein method and Schwarz method, we are getting pure methyl fluoride and pure methyl iodide, because the byproduct is PPT. In both the cases, byproduct are PPT. Now this is the Schwarz reaction. This is a special reaction. Special reaction for methyl fluoride. Methyl fluoride. Here it's a special reaction for methyl iodide or alkyl iodide. Now this is the halogen exchange method. Now today we have completed the complete formation of haloalkanes. Now in another video we will discuss the another things. Now for today that's all. Thank you. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe. Now that's all. Thank you.